All right, everybody, how you doing today? Oh, yes, I got some really good news. This video is going to knock your socks off. This is one of the well, you know what? Let's do this. Let's get into this baby right now cuz you are going to be excited for this one. All right, welcome back to my channel. It's good to have you here. William Biz with Free Power here. And as I was saying, this video is really going to knock your socks off. It's going to blow your mind because this is the best interview that Chris Anthony has ever given. You are really going to fall over backwards because what's brought out in this video on CNN. This is a new interview that was done with Chris Anthony, and let's just get into this. It's kind of long, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it up in several videos. After I show you the whole thing, I'm going to do separate videos about this and other videos. But anyway, let's check this video out and tell me that this isn't one of the best interviews that Chris Anthony has done.
Coming up after the break, for decades we've been hearing that mass-produced solar-powered cars are just around the corner. Well, now Aptera says it's nearing that goal. Our conversation next. Welcome back to First Move. It's a fast and furious first move as we chase the progress of the solar electric startup Aptera. And I can tell you they're accelerating with this blink and you'll miss it cameo in the new Netflix movie Atlas, starring Jennifer Lopez. I should point out that this three-wheeled vehicle does not fly in reality. But back down here on the ground, Aptera has been wowing investors speeding around a racetrack in Abu Dhabi as part of the company's expansion. And it's entering a new financial phase too, with funding from US Capital Global to drive production, with the first deliveries now slated for next year. Aptera's rechargeable battery will last up to 1,000 miles, and the company says it can do an extra 40 miles a day from the solar panels on the body. Chris Anthony is the company's co-founder and co-CEO, and he's joining us now from Southern California. Chris, welcome back to the show. Now, we have to remind... You're welcome. Remind our viewers, because I remember when you were last on and we were talking about this, you called this brutal execution on first principles engineering. Explain to us what that means.
We went back to the root science to design the most efficient vehicle platform ever. So we use a 20th of the energy of a combustion vehicle and a quarter of the energy of today's electric vehicles, and we put it all in a very sexy package like what's behind me, and put some solar panels on top, and you get some very useful range with about 40 miles a day of free power directly from the nuclear generator in the sky.
But it also is an EV car, so people understand. So if you live in a less sunny environment, then you can charge this. And on what you're hoping to be some of the most expensive options on this car, the range is enormous.
Yeah, 1,000-mile range with the longest range battery pack. At its heart, it is an electric vehicle, but it has a solar panel package on top that basically trickle charges your batteries as you go. So 40 miles a day of free driving in Southern California, that equals about 11,000 miles a year of free power. You don't have to pay anybody for it. You don't have to stop at a gas pump. You don't have to plug in. It just comes directly from the sun. But if you want to go on a long trip to see grandma, you can stop at a Tesla supercharger station and supercharge and be on your way. And get several hundred miles of range in just minutes at those supercharging stations. And
part of this as well is the weight. I remember that as well. It is incredibly light relative to other EV vehicles. I think it was around 60 or 65% lighter than the average EV vehicle. Is that correct? Because that allows you to get some serious speed as well.
Yeah, our base vehicle weighs about 2,000 pounds, but goes 0 to 60 miles an hour in about 4 seconds. So it's super nimble, super quick, great around the racetrack.
So let's talk about cost.
The base vehicle is about $26,000. If you add all the features and the longest range battery pack, it brings you up to about $44,000.
And then the base cost was around $26K, I think, wasn't it, in dollars?
$26,000. The maximum range is about 1,000 miles and bumps it up to about $44,000. But when you take into account the energy savings and not having to stop at the gas pump, The average family in America is spending about $5,000 a year on gasoline now. So if you could put a big dent in that budget, you'd be saving money and doing good for the environment and having an amazingly capable vehicle to drive around your town.
I also noticed that the passenger in that vehicle was a very smiley dog, which I thought was cleverly done. And it's a two-seater, we should point out as well. I remember that as well. What made you really interesting to me last time, beyond the technology, though, was how you were financing. We know this is a cash burn business. You crowdfunded, and I believe you raised around $100 million from 17,000 people, and now you've got an alternative funding source. Just talk to me about that decision moving on and what that means for early investors and then obviously in this funding round, current investors.
Yeah, vehicle design and manufacturing is a capital-intensive effort. We've been humbled by having 17,000 investors contribute over $100 million to the effort so far, and one of the most successful crowdfunding efforts in history. But now that we're tooling up and getting ready for production, we need bigger equipment and it costs a lot more money, so we had to find some more institutional partners, and U.S. capital is engaged to do just that, get us to production here in the next 9 months.
So how many cars do you think you're going to be able to produce and have on the market? Sort of 2025 is what you're targeting. Can you give us a sense?
Yeah, this production facility here in Southern California is about 80,000 square feet, and we can produce about 20,000 vehicles a year out of this one facility. We hope to master the process here and then copy it and paste it in many other locations: Northern California, Texas, Virginia, Georgia, the Netherlands, Germany, Australia, and be producing around 150,000 vehicles a year by 2034.
Can we talk about what's happening in the UAE as well, in the Union or the Etihad edition? Because I saw that it features gold exterior colorway, and you're going to be producing these in 2026. Talk to me about how this deal came about and who are the potential buyers.
Well, there's no better region for solar mobility than a region with lots and lots of sun, and that's what the UAE does. They're very excited to get something going with Aptera and bring our advanced technologies to the region, and they have great manufacturing prowess in many areas, in glass and aluminum, and they're really building an amazing manufacturing base there, so we're excited to do work there too.
I also remember you talking about going public, taking the company public, because we were talking about you keeping your money in there even as you were getting more money from the crowdfunding sources that were at that time stacking up. So have you still left all of your money in, even with this additional sort of private sector funding that you've managed to achieve? And are you still thinking in terms of sort of ramping up production and then potentially taking the company private, or is that perhaps been postponed?
Yeah, we've always looked at taking the company public. We have 17,000 investors and just an amazing story that has great public appeal that makes for a great IPO process. So we've been getting the company ready. We're a regular filer with the SEC, working on Sarbanes-Oxley compliance, and just getting ready for the process as we enter production to also be a publicly available company.
I can't believe I didn't ask you before now. Can I ask how much money they gave you?
The U.S. capital deal?
Yeah.
We're working on about a $60 million funding plan for production. It could be a little less, could be a little more. We're looking at other equipment financing and debt financing too. So there'll be a lot of pieces of the puzzle that actually get us to production and beyond. But U.S. capital is amazingly capable, and they're a global firm, and we look to do some pretty great things with them.
Okay, so the point is, though, you can produce what you're planning now based on that money, and actually you're not going to be forced to perhaps go to the public markets for cash, at least in the interim. That's sort of what I was getting at there. Elon Musk.
Plan
Go on.
to cash flow neutrality. This plan gets us to cash flow neutrality and beyond. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Elon Musk famously said that he didn't think that solar-powered cars would ever really be a possibility. I think it was on Joe Rogan's podcast that he mentioned this. Have you spoken to or heard from Elon about what you're doing?
We think he's doing amazing stuff in the electric vehicle industry, and we're blessed by a lot of Tesla's technology trickling down, so we're grateful. But he's right. Cars of today cannot really be solar powered. It's just not useful. You have to have a vehicle that's designed for efficiency to really make solar power useful. And we designed a vehicle that's lightweight and uses a quarter of the energy per mile as the average EV. So when we put solar on top, you can get really useful range. The average driver in North America can drive 31 miles a day. We can provide all that driving with just the solar panels on top of this vehicle, and really makes it for a compelling solution.
Have you heard from him? Has he said anything to you?
I've met him a couple times, and okay. We run in the same kind of circles, but he's a much busier man now, so he's got a lot
Just checking. Yeah, and your point is made as well that you need the combination of the EV and the solar, but for short distances and runarounds, then you could arguably use this vehicle, if successful, just on the solar itself, which is pretty groundbreaking. Chris, can't wait to see them being produced and up and running, and to do a test drive at some point, she says, please.
Welcome to San Diego anytime.
Awesome. Yeah. Chris Anthony there, co-founder and co-CEO of Aptera Motors. So thank you. We'll speak to you soon. And if you've missed any of our interviews today, they'll be on my X and Instagram pages. You can search for @JChatterleyCNN.
All right, awesome. So what did I tell you? Did I not tell you this was one of the best interviews Chris Anthony ever given? And oh man, I am just so blown away. They are getting ready to come out with this in 2025. There's the proof in the pudding right there, and they are definitely coming out with it. He has already brought it out. This is just fantastic news. All my Apterian friends out there, I know you're loving this. And for all you haters out there, oh my goodness, what can I say? It's already there. They are ready to put this baby together. So there's so many things that's going on in this interview, and what I'm gonna have to do is I'm just gonna pick and choose bits and pieces so we could do videos on it, because this one is actually getting kind of long in itself, because the interview itself was 9 minutes long. But they are really to have this joker rocking, and Aptera is on its way. They are going to get there very soon. But anyway, tell me what you think about the video. Tell me I didn't tell you this was one of the best videos he has ever done. Oh, Aptera is getting ready to explode on the scene, baby. Oh my goodness. Here we come. But anyway, you guys, hey, y'all take care. And listen, if you're new here, hit the like, ring the bell, subscribe. You catch all my Aptera videos when they come out. And we know that Aptera is getting ready to rock and roll. And for my Patreons, you know I'm going to keep it real for you guys. And you know I'm going to bring you the best information about Aptera that I could ever bring. And this was a doozy here. This is one for the record books. But my Patreons, you know I love you guys. Y'all just so good at taking care of me. And I really appreciate all that you're doing. And for those that want to get involved in Aptera, if you want to go to their webpage, aptera.us, and you want to invest, or you could wait till they come out with their PI. I'm going to do a video on that. They're going to be talking about that pretty soon. I'm sorry, not PI. IPO, I meant to say. So anyway, it looks like things are looking up, and Aptera is going to be out there before you know it. All those Aptera investors who've been waiting for their vehicle, you are very soon going to get it. Oh, yes, indeed. But anyway, you guys take care. And hey, I want to hear your comments. Let me hear what you got to say about what's going on. But I will be catching you in the next video for what I'm going to bring out about several things he talked about in this interview. And we'll go from there. But y'all take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. I know you're as happy as I am right now. So we'll catch you in the next video. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.